Good day everyone, we're here yet again with another video regarding the Eaglemoss's build the Enterprise. I figured today I would start off with the stage 1 assembly of the Enterprise's bridge. As you can see here we have the instructions and here are all the parts given for this first stage of build. Without further ado, we shall start off. I will keep the instructions that are featured here within the camera view. So our first part is the very top of the Enterprise, the bridge. Bridge module, and place it on top of the bridge base. Here it is. So if I can curve from the bottom, yes. It's just basically a very simple inset. Doesn't seem to want to stay for some reason. Perhaps I have not placed it properly. But it seems to be from here. Oh, with this, that's why. 2 AP screws. So lucky enough, they did include a screwdriver, which is very good of them. I had to use 2 AP screws. Here are the said screws. So I require 2 of them, which will go into here and here. I'm trying not to damage the bag because I prefer to keep my screws in. I have this here just to make sure I have 2. Oh, I seem to have taken 3. Hopefully this screwdriver isn't, very good. Magnetic as well. Very good, Eaglemoss. That's what we want. So I shall now insert the 2 screws to keep this piece solid. If it would go in. Guess it wasn't a good idea to do this so early in the morning. But we have managed to get it in. Make sure we're in there nice and tight. Second screw now. And here we go for the bridge. I don't know if you can see this from the video, but there's quite nice detailing of fire. Oh, there you go. Nice bit of lighting. Some nice detailing effects. Yes, we are staying with this part. And we are introducing the lights. We are looking for the sea. Unfortunately for this part of the construction we do not have any included battery section, which is a shame. So here we go. The lights, as you can see, it is part C. Take the bridge lights, mark for C, identify the bulb with the yellow and white, which we have. We have to place it on the side of the bridge base as shown. So there's a nice little slit here. So that should slide in quite nicely. And they're suggesting, if I remove this, I keep it here properly, should slide into these little 2 slits here. Now it's asking me for this nice little bit here, which I believe, yes, is this part here. Which will slide nicely in here to keep this light in place. Does not seem to want to go in, unless I have picked up the wrong piece, which I believe I have not. So we'll have to do a quick bit of jury rigging. That should hopefully be it. Or what may be the better idea is we insert the light to here and then put it in. Hopefully letting it clip in quite nicely. Ah yes, this has seemed to have worked. So this is the back of the bridge, and I will just have to quickly fix this bit of wiring here. Just try and keep it clean. Ah, there's a problem. Because the lights have not been secured, this is easily just slipped out, which is now a problem. We'll come back to Mr. Screwdriver. Hopefully this will just, yes, nice and easily slide back out. So once again, that should be it nice and secure. We'll leave it like that to prevent the bulb from coming out. Next we need the back section, which is this lovely little piece here. But first we've got to put the back end of the light into the rear of the bridge section. So give me a minute, I will quickly do a quick jury rigging here. I'm just going to put these two cables like that for now. Now it's telling me from this image that we want the red part on the right side here. So it should hopefully be this here. And then we take the rear bridge section. This might be a better idea. So this is a little fumbler, this is my first time doing this. So if I place that white section to here, that's hopefully, yes, so everything looking good here. So these two bits are meant to stay above. Now we are going to fit the bridge bottom, which is this lovely little piece here. It's telling me that if this is going to go here, it needs to go through the middle. Nice and solid. And two holes there will accumulate to two holes here, which will eventually be affixed via screws if we get it to line up just nicely. And it's there, hopefully if I can get this light correct, yep, some good detailing again. Once again I'm going to be using AP screws to attach this. So the screws have to go into here and here. And just one more screw from the back. I prefer to keep the screws in the pack so they won't get lost. Fortunately this screwdriver says it wants all of them at once. I know some people prefer their own usage of to use their own screwdrivers, but I believe that for now I'm going to stick with the one provided by Eaglemoss. And there we go. Just move parts here so we can flip a page. Now we're going to be fitting emergency flush vents. Okay, deck 2. It's not told me to take this part, which I feel is weird. Unless I have accidentally skipped a step. I have it. So now we're going to use this bit. Good weight to it. It is die-cast metal. The good old cold cut touch technique tells me this. So once again, we've got that angled. You can see quite a nice little piece of detailing. Originally first flint steel 1H. If we give me a sec, this should tell me the parts. It should be this part here. Fit fence on fence I'm looking for 01H. If you will give me 1 minute. There's a light, so it will be clear plastic due to it being a light. So I believe it will be this lovely little piece here, which will insert nicely to here. So I will now need my resetter sticker, reset of whites. Maybe a better idea to get this a little bit straighter this time. Fit the bulb with black and yellow. I assume we placed in here. Yep. To see if I can maybe straighten this up. Just decided I want to fall out. That's not bad. So I suggest you keep the cable like this. Bracket 01S. Once again, quick flash back to the actual instructions. 01S. Which looks like this piece here. I believe. Yes, it will go. No, it's not this piece. It must be the other version. It will be this piece here, I believe. It's telling me from the image it's just the right hand side for some reason. From what I'm looking at in the image. But it's not making sense from the way I look at it. So we'll double check. This says right, this says left. Oh, okay, I have figured it out. Silly job, silly me. It's just the way it's looking. It looked like it was meant to go that way, but it seems it has to go this way. telling me it is the right hand piece. But still throwing the wheel. Clicks. Still does not make sense to draw to me. Unless these were label draw, which I believe they may have. Because this piece is meant to feature to there. So I'm assuming it must be the left hand piece, as it would cover the light section. So once again, we'll put the light into the little holder first, then we'll do the insertion. If it would stay in place. So we finally managed to get there. Fits with a CM screw onto this part here. So these will be your CM screws. Push that here so I can put this screw back into the pouch. Let's manage to get in nicely. So we're going into this hole here. Get that in there. Yes, nice and tight. This should be all plugged in. If we look at the bottom here, yep, that will be quite nice. Then I'm looking for part 01G, which does not seem to want to come out of plastic, but we will find a way. So this will be this part here. And then that part I was trying to figure out earlier should go nicely in here. And once again, we'll bring back Mr. CM screw. Just get you in there nice and tight. We don't want anything to fall out. Perfect. Or if I perhaps done this wrong from the way the image is looking, I believe I may have. But I'm only following instructions here. We're going to look here, looks fine to me. So I will keep it this way. I'm not sure it's going to matter which side you put the light on, but I guess everyone's going to be different. So we're into the front window 01E to the rear access, which should hopefully be this lovely little part here, if I can just double and check. Yes, it is. This is the window part of the ship. As you can see, some will light up, some will not. That should just nicely insert to here. And they are nice and solid. Zero 01F, you give me a set, just once again double check parts. We're looking for 01F. Which is this nice lovely piece here. which will go down this way, but we're also having to attach lights marked A, which is this little red, black, and green here. So from the looks of it, they're going to separate. Our red and black ones should be going into here, with our green and yellow into here. So just going to make sure they're inserted here, and just do a little, well, I was going to do a little bit of tidying here, but fiddle way apart. Some parts like to move about, which may suggest I would be better putting the screws in first, which is telling me once again our CM before I do a little tidy up with the cables, just so we can secure them before I do the tidy up with cabling. Wondering if that was going on there. It does not seem to want to go in for some reason. I am not sure. Well, it's going in. I can feel tightness now. So once again, we'll put this light back in. Man, this cat seems to be quite fiddly. This parks up. There we go. So before this falls back out, another CM screw. There we go. In place here. Which should hopefully prevent this knife from falling out. I still need 2 more CM screws. If you'd like to come out and join the party, so to say. Well, the back ones here seem to be going in quite nicely. Just making sure that these two are in decently. We don't want any parts falling out, but we don't want to cause breakage either. That's in quite nice and secure. Once again, this is a die-metal, seems to be a die-cast metal piece. So we'll just do a quick tidy up of cabling here, just to make sure no parts will move about on later builds. It may be an idea to grab some form of tape just to keep bits in place, but unfortunately right now I have none. Well, so far we have the top of the bridge and the bottom of the bridge. So our next stage is telling me that I have to flip this over, and by inserting this kind of, well, it is a piece of plastic basically, which should just go in nicely here. Nice and solid there. And then what we have to do next is we'll take that top part of the bridge that we worked on earlier. We can get the cable to go. I'll turn this upside down just to make sure it's going to go in the way it should. And there we go. Now it's telling me I have to secure this using 4 CP screws. Here's our old friend Mr. CP. I guess I'm wrong, this is the AP screw bag, which I believe I'm now friends with CP, AP and MC. So we'll close them up for now, and hopefully they'll be used in later parts of the build. So the final bag is our CP screw. Which, luckily enough, there is only 4, so we will not be using this bag in the future. Or will we? Because it's telling me I only require 3, but it's gave me 4 for some reason. Well, it's always good to have a spare in your builds. So screws go here, here, and here. Always handy to hold these from the bottom when you're screwing them in. So if this is not on the camera, I'm just trying to get a good hold. Oh, yep, I can feel that going in nicely. Our second screw. Make sure I hold this nicely from the bottom so we can get that in nice and tight. And the last screw. And hopefully that's going to be in nice and steady, which it has. Look at me. Which for some reason it's still with me with this lovely little light. It's suggesting from the instructions this cable part should thread through this here. Which kind of undoes the work I just did earlier, but oh well, I'll just tie it around here just for now to make sure I know where it is. So here, our last part of this stage of the build is to include the escape pods. If you can see, maybe from the bottom, there's left and right that we each have a different indentation, and so here, okay enough, like Gundam parts, they're just easily snapped off. So this tells me it's a left hand side and it should insert here nicely. As is the way of the escape pods, the little red bit here should be facing downwards. This is a right hand piece with the far right. If it would like to go in. Which it appears it does not want to. This is very strange. Oh, this is right. That is why. So we'll be right to the middle. Silly me, but we all make these sort of mistakes during these sort of builds. There we go. Managed to get that in. We'll need to refix. We'll pop that back out. Just to double check everything. No. That's why it won't fit, because this is a left piece. Silly me. Should more or less be in. I'm not quite happy with how it's kind of sticking out. Unless it's the one for here, which it is not. So that must be this bit here. Oh, seems to be in a bit smoother now. The old shake and rattle test, make sure it is in there nice and smooth. This is also the right hand piece for the far right, which should hopefully just insert nicely here. Wait, that's this side here. That's in there nice and tight. This, I believe, is, yes, left. And nice and tightly. This should be right. Nope. Fortunately, I'm wrong. This is left again. You're trying to trick me, aren't you, Eaglemoss? That's in there, and the last escape pod, which is right this time. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first part of the Enterprise build. Which is strange because I only have a bit came out, which is very strange. Ah, yeah, it's the P part. Must mean the screw's not quite in tight if it's managed to fall out. So if we move this green wire here, what's in this part? Which should allow it to go black and yellow, just making sure I have the right part. It may just be I've not taken up the screw enough, which is a very fixable problem. What may have been the problem here is this part does seem to be a little loose. It seems to be solid enough for now. So that is the first part of the build, the Enterprise build. Well, I think we'll leave that for now. I'll need to find a solution for that. But as you can see, it is still kinda loose. It might just be that the screw's not in right. But we'll leave it for there. I hope you've enjoyed this. I will hopefully within the next day or two do the next part, which is one of the nacelles. Thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to watch.